Ever find yourself like just scrolling through endless search results and you wonder like, wow, how did we get here?
Incredible, isn't it?
It really is. And, well, today we're going way back to the 19th century, long before the internet as we know it, to meet the unlikely hero who made it all possible.
Uh-huh.
George Boole.
You might not recognize his name right off the bat, but trust me, this guy, this self-taught mathematician, his ideas are woven into the fabric of the digital age.
Yeah.
I mean, from the search engines we were just talking about, the smartphones, his legacy is all around us.
Absolutely. So we're diving into George Boole's life story, exploring his groundbreaking work in logic and math, and uncovering how this seemingly obscure field paved the way for the tech we rely on today.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, so get ready for some mind-blowing connections and a newfound appreciation for the power of one curious mind.
I love it. Let's dive in.
All right, so let's set the scene. Who was George Boole? What were his early years like?
Okay, so picture this. England, 1815, Boole is born into poverty, the son of a shoemaker, in a time when social class very much determined your destiny.
Oh, yeah.
Formal education was a luxury for the wealthy, not for someone from his background.
So how did he break free from those limitations? I mean, that had to be a really incredible uphill battle.
It really was, but he was driven by this relentless thirst for knowledge, and he basically taught himself advanced mathematics.
Wow.
He even learned Latin and Greek.
Oh, wow.
Which allowed him to devour classic works by mathematicians and philosophers, talk about intellectual curiosity.
That's amazing. It just makes you realize how much we take access to information for granted these days.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And Boole's dedication paying off at just 16 to support his family.
Wow.
He became a teacher himself, sharing the knowledge that he had fought so hard to gain.
16. That's unbelievable to think that he was already shaping young minds at that age while still pursuing his own education. And what a remarkable commitment to learning.
And I didn't stop there. A few years later, he opened his own school, further solidifying his role as an educator. This drive to teach, to share knowledge, really foreshadows the impact his work would have generations later.
It's almost like he had this inherent understanding that knowledge should be accessible to everyone regardless of background.
Exactly, and this brings us to his groundbreaking work at Queen's College, Cork. In 1849, he became the first professor of mathematics there, quite a feat for someone who never actually attended university himself.
Hold on, he was a professor without ever being a student? That's unheard of. I mean, it really challenges our assumptions about how expertise is developed, doesn't it?
It really does, and this unconventional path might have been the key to his revolutionary thinking. He wasn't bound by the traditional divisions between academic disciplines, and this led him to a truly radical idea, merging logic and mathematics.
That sounds so abstract. It's like trying to mix oil and water. Can you give us a concrete example of how this merging actually works?
Okay, so think of it like refining a web search. You know how you can use and or not to get more specific results? That's Boolean logic in action.
Oh.
He created a system where these simple operators could express complex logical relationships.
So he essentially created the language for computers to think. That's wild. I always thought those search terms were just convenient tools, not the foundation of an entire system of logic.
I know, it's amazing, right? And what seems so simple on the surface, and or not, has profound implications. It's the basis of binary systems, the ones and zeros that make up the language of computers. Without this framework, the digital world as we know it simply wouldn't exist.
It's mind-blowing. But wasn't computing still decades away? How did Boole's ideas bridge that gap?
And that's where the story takes kind of a sad turn. Boole sadly never lived to see his ideas come to life in the digital age.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember reading about his untimely death. What were the circumstances surrounding that?
Well, in 1864, at just 49 years old, he walked miles in a pouring rainstorm to teach a class. Yeah, he fell ill and died shortly after. Some speculate that if he'd lived longer, the digital revolution might have happened decades earlier.
Wow, that's a thought-provoking. What if it really makes you realize that the pace of progress isn't always linear? It sometimes hinges on, individual lives and circumstances.
Absolutely. But even though Boole wasn't there to see it, his work really planted the seeds for future breakthroughs. In the 1930s, Claude Shannon and Victor Shestakov, working independently, recognized the potential of Boolean algebra for electronic circuits.
Wow.
They were like the missing puzzle pieces that connected Boole's theoretical framework to the physical world of computing.
So they essentially built the bridge between Boole's abstract logic and the tangible machines we use today.
Precisely. And this is where things get really exciting. Think about it. Almost every aspect of modern technology relies on Boolean logic.
Yeah.
It's not just search engines. It's the algorithms that power social media feeds, the artificial intelligence that's changing how we interact with the world, even the financial systems that drive our global economy.
It's really amazing to think that all these complex systems have their roots in such a simple fundamental idea. It highlights the ripple effect of one person's intellectual curiosity.
And it goes beyond computing. Boole's work in set theory has implications in fields like statistics, linguistics, even philosophy.
Oh, wow.
It's a testament to how abstract thinking can have practical applications in the most unexpected places.
It really makes you wonder what other, hidden Booles are out there. Are there groundbreaking ideas from the past just waiting to be rediscovered and applied to today's challenges?
That's a great question, and it brings us to another crucial aspect of Boole's legacy. His story is about more than just, equations and algorithms. It's about challenging assumptions and overcoming barriers.
You're referring to his humble beginnings, right? How he defied social expectations to become a renowned scholar.
Yes, and that resonates even today. We live in a world that still struggles with inequality and limited access to opportunities. Boole's story is a powerful reminder that talent and potential can exist anywhere, regardless of background or circumstance.
But how do we translate that reminder into action? How do we create a world where everyone, regardless of their starting point, has the chance to reach their full potential to become the next Boole, so to speak?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think a big part of it is about shifting our mindset.
Okay.
We need to foster a culture that truly values intellectual curiosity and lifelong learning for everyone, not just a select few.
That makes sense. Bill wasn't motivated by grade or career prospects. He was driven by a pure love of learning, a desire to understand the world around him.
Exactly. We need to rekindle that spirit of inquiry, not just in formal education, but in every aspect of life. Imagine a world where asking why and what if is encouraged, where exploring unconventional ideas is celebrated. Who knows what incredible breakthroughs might emerge from that kind of environment?
It's an inspiring thought, but it also feels a bit daunting. How do we cultivate that kind of intellectual freedom on a societal scale?
It starts with small steps. Supporting educators, promoting access to information, creating spaces where curiosity can flourish, and most importantly, recognizing that intellectual potential isn't bound by zip codes or socioeconomic backgrounds. We need to be actively searching for the next George Boole in unexpected places, providing the support and resources to nurture their talents.
So it's about recognizing that genius can come from anywhere, and then create the conditions for it to thrive.
Exactly. And that's a challenge, but also an incredible opportunity. Just imagine the possibilities if we unlock the full intellectual potential of humanity. That's the true legacy of George Boole, a challenge to dream big, to push boundaries, and to never stop questioning.
And who knows, maybe that next groundbreaking idea is already out there, just waiting for the right environment to take root and blossom, just like Boole's did.
I have a feeling you might be right about that.
This has been a truly eye-opening deep dive. I feel like I've not only learned about George Boole, but I've also gained a new perspective on the power of ideas and the importance of fostering intellectual curiosity.
I'm so glad to hear that. And remember, the story doesn't end here. What we do with this knowledge, how we apply these insights to shape the future, that's the next chapter.
It's really incredible to think about how Boole's work, born out of just intellectual curiosity, has shaped the fabric of our digital lives. It's a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge can have a profound impact, even if the implications aren't immediately apparent.
Absolutely. And it really underscores a crucial point. Innovation isn't always about chasing practical applications. Sometimes the most transformative breakthroughs come from exploring those seemingly abstract ideas, just like Boole did with logic and mathematics.
So if Boole were alive today, what do you think would fascinate him most about the modern world? Would he be surprised by how his ideas have been applied?
I think he'd be thrilled to see the vast landscape of human ingenuity that his work has helped to cultivate. Imagine him exploring the world of artificial intelligence, delving into those complex algorithms that drive machine learning and data analysis.
It's almost like we've created a world where his logic is brought to life, thinking and processing information in ways he can only imagine.
Exactly. And I think he'd be particularly fascinated by the ethical considerations that have emerged alongside these advancements. After all, Boolean logic at its core is about decision-making, about navigating the complexities of true and false. Seeing how those decisions play out in the real world with all its nuanced ethical dilemmas would be a captivating challenge for his analytical mind.
It makes you wonder what insights he would offer as we grapple with these new frontiers. The intersection of technology, ethics, and human choice, it's all intertwined with the very logic he helped to define.
It is, and it really highlights how the pursuit of knowledge is a never-ending journey. Boole's work laid the groundwork for the digital age, but it also illuminated a path for future generations to explore, question, and redefine the boundaries of human understanding.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the life and legacy of George Boole, what's the one enduring lesson we can carry forward?
For me, it's the importance of embracing intellectual curiosity, not just for personal enrichment, but as a driving force for progress and innovation. Boole's life is a testament to the transformative power of asking why and what if. It's a reminder that each of us, in our own way, has the potential to contribute to the ongoing narrative of human discovery.
Well said. This has been an incredible journey through history logic and the enduring power of ideas. We hope you, our listeners, feel inspired to explore, question, and embrace your own intellectual curiosity. Who knows what remarkable insights you might uncover?
After all, as we've learned from George Boole, even the most abstract ideas can shape the world in profound and unexpected ways.
This has been The Deep Dive, and we thank you for joining us.